not 24 anymore. You know, life changes, life moves on, and you know, I can't devote, as I've told you guys this many times, I can't devote the hours to practice like I used to. You know, stand on the range, hit balls for 4 or 5 hours, go play 36, come back, run 4 or 5 miles, then go to the gym. Those days are gone. Okay, so I have to be realistic about you know, my expectations, and hopefully peaking at the right time. I peaked at Augusta well, and you know, hopefully I can peak you know, a few more times this year.
That's Tiger Woods. Did you think that after he came back and won the Masters, he was going to come back and break all of Jack Nicklaus's records? Well, maybe not. And he speaks of, it looks like he shot 6 over opening round, so he's going to miss the cup at the Open Championship. I generally don't talk a whole lot of golf on here. It's not that I'm anti-golf. It's something that I guess I regret. Maybe it's not too late. Not playing. Because I think it is a great game, and everybody I talk to says it's a great game. But for whatever reason, the opportunity has not come to me, or at least if it has, I didn't take advantage of it. When, you know, I do remember once when I was a sports writer with the Wheeling Intelligencer, a country club, you know, a golf pro saying, "Look, Wheeling Intelligencer sports writer, don't play golf. I'm going to teach you how to play golf. Just come down. Don't worry about it. Great game. Play it. I want you to know this game." And unfortunately, I didn't last long enough in Wheeling. I moved back. There was a higher paying position at a radio station down here at the time, and so, you know, there went my opportunity at the Wheeling Country Club, where I did a very nice article on them. What was it? I'm trying to remember. Was it Sam Snead or Ben Hogan that had played that club? Well, it's not around here, so forgive me. It doesn't mean a whole lot to the people around here, so we'll just move on. First, I want to talk last night about the Atlanta Braves. Believe it or not, they had a 1-0 lead in their game. And then...
1-0. This is line to left field. Chasing is Acuna. Dives, and it's by him. This one goes to the wall. Strasburg is just hitting second. He's racing for third. He's getting waved in by Bobby Henley. The throw in from Acuna is cut off by Swanson. He'll hold on to it. It's a triple for Adam Eaton, scoring Strasburg, lumbering around all the way from first. And this game is tied. The Nationals won and the Braves won.
Did you hear that, Strasburg? Yeah, keep that in mind, okay?
The 1-0 is driven to deep left field. This one's way back. It's going, and long gone. Steven Strasburg puts it over the Atlanta bullpen for his 4th career home run. Steven Strasburg has 2 hits here in the 3rd inning, and the Nationals lead at 8-1.
The old Washington Senators were they called the Nationals officially for a period? Anyway, the one that 1901 to 1960, the ones that moved to Minnesota, the old Washington Senators. Walter Johnson was 26th, I believe, on their all-time home run list, if memory serves. I mean, think about that. You know, a pitcher once played in the dead ball era. Once every 4 days he played, hit 9th, so he was going to come up 1 time fewer than his teammates at that. And he was 26th all time. Yeah, the old Washington Senators. Don't ask me how I know that. I just do, because I am that good. So Strasburg hitting his inner Walter Johnson in more ways than just one.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a ground ball, base in left field for Strasburg. Scoring from third, Dozier. Rounding third, coming on Robles. Throw to the plate is cut off. It's a single to left. 2 runs batted in for Steven Strasburg. He is now 3 for 3 in the game. He's driven in 5 runs here tonight.
And you want a DH to ruin that magic? Of course, Ryan Zimmerman is a little bit more well-known for offense with the Nets.
And the pitch to Zimmerman, swung on, hit high in the air to deep right field. Marky going back in the warning track at the wall, and this one is over his head, off the wall and in play. Rounding third, Rendon. He will score. To third is Soto. Zimmerman pulling into second with another double.
And so the Nats go on to win in Atlanta 13-4. and now they're only 5.5 out. And, it's still the Braves' division to lose, but the competition certainly won't be the Mets. It's not going to be the floundering Phils. It'll be the Nats. I think we can safely say that. And, if Teheran doesn't have his stuff today, Braves will be up 4.5. Nice lead. But a sweep by the Nats, and it's only 2.5 up. With more than 2 months to play. Of course, that speaks of a sweep by the Nats, which in all likelihood probably isn't going to happen. But they've been hot. Braves have been hot. It's, the irresistible force and the immovable object, right? I mean, the Nats and the Braves since June 1 have been the hottest teams in the senior circuit. And they meet now. Strasburg, okay. You kind of figured this one was going to belong to the Nats. Okay, so there you have that. But really, I think that the game of the day was in New York. They played a doubleheader in New York, and let's get to this here. I've got a. There's this thing on me that wants to play. I can play a home run cut, but for whatever reason, I just want to play this. It's not necessarily the highlight you normally would hear, but I want to hear how they announced this.
Bases loaded, one man out. Big moment in the game. Morton deals, and it's a balk. How do you like that? An experienced pitcher started and stopped. What a way to take the lead. It's a balk. Judge goes to third, and Carcion goes to second. And you know what, Susan? You couldn't argue with it. There's no doubt about it.
And Charlie Morton, who's had a fine year, by the way, he is going to be he commits a balk, and the Yankees take a 2-1 lead. And what can you say? The Yankees, continue. It's their division. Again, it's like the Braves to lose. I mean, let's face it. Any team now in first place, even the Milwaukee Brewers over in the NL Central, it's their division to lose. I think we can say that rather safely. And but there was a lot of talk that over the last few weeks, the Rays and the Yankees were going to get together, and maybe, just maybe, the Rays could get back into the race or knock off the Yankees. But there's a reason why in the 21 previous seasons the Rays and the Yankees have shared a division. The Yankees have finished ahead 19 times, and I've spoken about this. They take 2 games yesterday from the Rays, 6-2 and 5-1. And so now the Yankees with a 10-game lead on the Rays in the loss column. Not overall in the standings, but in the loss column. Those are the games that you can't make up. Let's see here. Let's see here, 5.5. Let's see, excuse me, no, 5. And as I do this, for 8 games officially ahead of the Rays after that sweep. But yeah, this is not necessarily going to be anything but a New York Yankees division. And although the Twins may be on pace to become the first team in baseball history to hit more than 300 home runs, thus making home runs emphasize too much and commonplace, said this, the home run derby that they had in Cleveland, it got to be, as I said, like watching Homer Simpson eat donuts in hell. There just were far too much of it going on. Here we go. It's like watching a guy at the driving range after a while. So, now the Rays still are on track for the wild card, don't get me wrong. If the season ended today, they'd go to Cleveland. They were only 4 games back of the Twins, incidentally. But Indians have been playing some good ball, too. But we are going, and we are... that's the Yankees division to lose. And really, I think everybody is just looking forward to seeing... By the way, I said the Brewers division. The Cubs are in first place. Forgive me, I got the Cubs and Brewers mixed up. Cardinals beat the Reds last night. Only a half game back of the Brewers, in fact. So forgive me. I still think the Reds could get back into it, but they're 8 games out. I say, how with all that pitching can they not... Anyway. But I think right now it would be disappointing, I think, if it wasn't Dodgers and Yankees. And I keep saying it. I know you got 3 rounds of postseason to get to before you go to the World Series, which is why people lose interest. But nevertheless, that's kind of the way it is going. By the way, something also interesting to look at. You know how bad the Orioles have been? Historically bad, they say, 29-66. They're only a game and a half back of the Detroit Tigers. Okay? Daniel Norris, I think, takes the bump tomorrow. That sounds like a decent bet, you know? I mean, 8 losses in a row. I mean, you need a house? Let's see here. Daniel Norris, he's going on a bump, and all this. Anyway, going back to baseball, the big thing in Game 1 of those 2 games that the Yankees took from the Rays is that there was a rookie umpire, and Aaron Boone, the manager of the Yankees, and we're not going to play the cuts because there's just too many profanities and we like to stay on the air. But there was a rookie umpire who made a questionable ball strike call. All right? And called a strike 3. And what happened was that Boone absolutely lost it. Batter was Brett Garner. The umpire, he's a rookie, Brennan Miller, and he struck out on a 1-2 pitch that everybody's saying wasn't a strike. And then after, that was the second questionable call, there was one on Aaron Judge. And so Garner was upset. You get ejected if you argue balls and strikes, and if you're a manager. I think the same thing if you're a player and you do it demonstratively. I mean, you know, you can really skip, but it doesn't, or really blue, you know, that doesn't get you tossed. But you're a manager arguing balls and strikes, that's an automatic ejection. And so here's the quote, and I will clean it up here. My guys are expletive savages in that blankety blank box, and you're having a piece of excrement start. I feel bad for you, but copulating get better. Okay, you getting the idea of what I'm trying to say here? That guy's a good pitcher, but our guys are savages. No, not just savages, but procreating savages. Our guys are savages in the procreating box. Yes. So tighten it up now. Now that's Earl Weaver stuff right there. And so they asked, Aaron Boone, do you feel bad about, taking it out on the rookie umpire?
So I was sympathetic to him while also being obviously upset. And I didn't mean that in it by any means in a demeaning way. It was more just, I know we're all over you here and it's early in this game, but I felt it was important to make a statement there.
Less so in the Tri-Cities, but I think we all know somebody whose favorite, modifier is the F-bomb. Every sentence has an F-bomb. You know that guy, Is this, is this Boone? I mean, think about it here, Anyway, let's go on with this. He talks about the Yankees' aggressive approach at the plate, does Aaron Boone.
I always just want our guys, I talk to you guys all the time about controlling the strike zone and make it hard on the pitcher all the time. And that's something that those guys take a lot of pride in as a lineup, making it, you may have your way with us, you may have success against us, but I want you to feel us. And they take that on every game, and it usually serves them well.
Boy, all this talk about OPS, on-base percentage, and taking pitches and all that. I'm somewhat relieved to hear a team taking an aggressive approach in the box. And guess what? They're 8 games ahead of everybody else in first place. Tri-City Sports Now.
WEMB Sports